Everybody to the animated fun time. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another all-new X's for Show, your premier live media reaction show where we, as always, are here to talk about your favorite nerd materials, but mostly comics. And as always, I am so excited to be here. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Nico at Nico Action. That's NicoAction.
And I'm TK. You can find me at XNateXGrayX.
And look, I'm always excited to have an episode, right? Like, always. But it's really cool when you've had an opportunity to like interview a creator and you've had them on before. So like you need to set the table really nice. Like I always used to say that I always want to keep one really nice set of china on display so the company always knows I'm saving it for someone better. And I feel like today that someone better is here and I'm breaking out the good china. So without further ado, I would love to bring in our good China guest of honor, I guess. So Jason, welcome to the show, Jason. And then
hey guys,
hey
Nico, hey TK, thanks for having me. Thanks for bringing out the cool china.
always got to keep that Tiffany blue right on display. Let everybody know what's going on. It's important. Now, we've had you on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, a second outing, and I'm really excited because this means we get to talk to you about some new stuff. We get to play some games, and it's kind of like now we get to get the real, right? Like we've done the very, welcome to the morning show. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've done the deep investigation of your creative process and that type of thing, and we get to have some fun and just, relax and get into it.
Oh, we're going to find out the dark stuff today. We're going to know what you know about animated series. Oh, it's going to get deep.
That's really where you find out who a person truly is.
Yes. Now, I am so excited to play this game with you in a little bit. But the thing I'm most excited about is I want to get a sense of what's been going on with you since you were last here. You first touched our hearts with your clearly Madrox represented Madrox story where you touched our hearts and then duplicated and touched our hearts again and then duplicated and touched our hearts again. And since then you've had like a really cool bunch of stuff going on, and I'd love to know all about it. I know we have a graphic of just some of the things you've been doing ready to go.
Yeah. So there is the Madrox and Strong Guy arcs, the one where they're stranded on an island and one in space. The Generation X reunion, sort of, without Chamber. Marvel Meow and Pizza Dog, which that has been a lot of fun because I got to just pick any fan favorite Marvel superhero for that series and get to write and draw them for the first time. So that was pretty cool. But also I got to play around with cats. I got to draw cats, which was a lot of fun. And I was telling my editor Caitlin that if I can make a living just doing the series, like just put me on the series because it was a dream. This Wednesday is the debut or the release of Marvel Voices Spider-Verse.
And we're real stoked about that.
So I don't know if you know this about us, but TK and I have a weird relationship with spider characters. We're really invested in the MC2 universe, and as such have read literally every page of it and talked about every page of it on this very show. And that led us to reading every page of Spider-Verse.
Because it's all going to count in the new movie, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it started, we both just fell in love with Mayday Parker, and, we got really into what it means to be a spider person after Peter Parker, and, what it means to be inspired by him, and in her case, to learn from him. And, then after we did all this MC2 material, we realized that there's so many other characters out there who are either in universe inspired by Peter Parker or creatively are inspired by Peter Parker. And, people are making their own spider characters all the time. What does that mean? What does that look like? We just got so excited about it. And so, it was so cool to see that somebody that we had talked to before that has done some stories that we absolutely love over the past year was going to get a story in this new Spider-Verse book. And yeah, I was psyched to see our name on it. I'm not sure how much you can tell us, but even if you can tell us how the experience was, I'd love to know that.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I got the opportunity to, well, it was either tell a story of an existing spider character or create a brand new spider character in their own Spider-Verse. And I thought, my first question to Devin Lewis, the editor, was like, have we ever seen a spider person trapped in a TV sitcom? Yeah, kind of like WandaVision in a way, but more like in a Friends setting. So I developed this character named Peter Park, who is a token Asian character, who's like just a supporting character in a TV sitcom, kind of like Friends, where he's the friend of Anthony Stark, Norman Osborn, and Mary Jane Watson and Pepper Potts Stark. And Peter Park has witnessed a lot, like he's always been there for all their exciting events like weddings and breakups and all that type of life events. But the spotlight was never on him. And the interesting thing is, like, off camera, he's actually Spider-Friend. He's the guy that's been protecting the city of New York, protecting his friends. He's doing all these amazing things, but his friends don't know about it, except for the Auntie May, who runs the diner where they all hang out.
I love this.
So awesome. I'm so excited to read this.
And I just I really appreciate you saying that he's sort of like the maybe traditional expectation of like an Asian character on a sitcom, but like that's been for me the best part of Spider-Verse. Like we've done handsome white guy. Thank you. We've done it 74 times, and it's great. But it's the wealth of opportunities to reimagine the definition of the totemic value of Spider-Man. Right? Like Spider-Man fits certain properties in order to be a spider character, which is how there's characters like Silk, Mayday, Aranya, who are not necessarily Spider-Man Peter Parker, but they represent the systemic idea of what a Spider-Man is. He, number one, puts responsibility before himself. Number two, he has trouble with like basic tasks. Like he's got some avoidance disorders, and he's low-key kind of bitchy about everything, like not overtly, but everything is kind of like, oh man, and like it's all very Tugboat Maguire. And like getting to hear somebody say, when I think Spider-Man story that hasn't been told, my mind goes to this metafictional iteration that is expressive of ways we see these tropes in other places in our world. I just think it really speaks to the idea of Peter Parker is the everyman, and we've taken that idea of the everyman and it can be mapped onto any man.
I was going to say, now it is everyman. Now everybody should get to be their spider person.
Exactly.
Yeah. And every creator should get to have their spider person and show it to us. And that's really the exciting thing that's been happening that makes Spider-Verse so great.
Exactly.
Yeah. And identifiably Spider-Man, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's just great to hear that somebody that we think is great is grating over on Spider-Man and not being grating.
Well, yeah, I hope you guys love it. It comes out on Wednesday, and from the words Devin said about the story was Like it's so heartfelt. It's so uh, it's full of heart, and yeah, and I hope everyone feels the same. They're gonna be, from the premise that I presented, you're gonna go in and you might be surprised for something even more.
Awesome. We love
and
to hear it.
to hear you say that it's an emotional experience or a heartfelt experience, I think that's really, kind of like your and many of the writers you're in sort of the same, let's go with fixing comics coven. I feel like your guys' witchcraft is very emotional. It is very the core of these characters. Something that we've joked about a lot is that, Marvel would never do something with this character because they've got to keep the status quo. But that does mean that over the years we've built up all of these things that have never been addressed. And I really think that, part and parcel of your work and sort of the generational work on things like X-Men Unlimited has been acknowledging the things so many of us grew up with that we held on to. Like those were our moments. And like getting to extrapolate on those moments through canon has really been something that like I felt very respected by your work on characters. So that's really exciting because you know what? Jamie Madrox is an adult. He's not a boy anymore. And
Exactly.
But he's a messy adult, and
yeah,
we got to see that part too. It can't just be like, oh, everything's perfect now.
Oh man, I wish I could say more, but no, yeah, X-Men Unlimited it's a really great series to dive into scenes out like that are not of the status quo of of what Marvel and DC usually comes out with. It's so you get like a great variety of emotional stories with all these DC-less characters, and that's what I love about it. Like when Lauren Amaro asked me to work on the series, and she said, yeah, you can pick any characters you want, and it felt very liberating to have so much freedom with these characters, with their guidance, of course.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
think you totally nailed it on Generation X. I mean, that's like in so many ways the story that all of us wanted and needed, and I think we were all expecting that it would either be an enormous series or nothing at all, and we'd all just kind of accepted nothing at all. But to get just like exactly what Nico was talking about before, just some acknowledgement and some moment where these characters all come back together again, and just like even go out for a night of drinking and games. Like sometimes that's all it takes for you, the person that was a kid, and these were like your teenage X-Men, to be like, life does go on, but in kind of like a beautiful way. And there's so much closure in just like simple stories sometimes.
I just wish I could have had like one or two more pages for that, because like there were so many ideas that I had to cut out just for page restrictions.
Well, and like there's a difference between like Jamie Delano can't get it in the bubble, and sort of like, just to use like a Jamie Delano contemporary, kind of Grant Morrison can't possibly get it in the bubble. And like one of the things that I've really appreciated is X-Men Unlimited has never made me go, oh Jesus Christ, I wish the editor had just said find a simpler way to say it. There has been so much dialogue, and there have been so many what feel like longer than I would expect stories, but it's never been a slog. I'm never like, oh, I wish this, because like I'm not coming for anybody, but 1978, look at me, 1978. You could stand to be a bit less verboten. You have guys like Mobius and John Byrne, and you're covering them with the beautiful letters. But I don't think I needed to see Chris Claremont do anything proverbially that many times in anything.
But I mean, God bless him. But yeah, there were times like panels where I would skip because I see what's going on here. I know.
I don't need to read this essay.
Yeah. So okay, now I want to ask like this is not maybe like the most artistic question, but I'm not just an artist. I'm a businessman in a lot of ways. Like, I think about comics as an industry, and I think there is so much value in the industry putting effort into projects like Marvel Meow and Pizza Dog, which aren't here to revolutionize canon exactly. But one of the things that it's actually given me is it's been a way to, like, I don't want to say indoctrinate, because that makes it sound a little everybody come to the rooftop, but like, I mean it like one of our contributors, Tori Sheehan, who is a comics professional. She's, a penciler on one of my comics, and like, she's amazing. Getting her to read mainstream comics from the big two was hell on earth. But saying, hey, check out It's Jeff, check out Marvel Meow, check out these sorts of projects, the versatility that they've offered and the dynamism that it's allowed something like a simple, what could have been a time waster app, to become a veritable communication channel between Marvel and the expectation of the readership. I would just love to know a little bit more about what it's like to work on a book like that, which, I know I'm putting a lot of stock in what is essentially meant to be like a lot of fun, but it's actually doing something to pull the medium forward a little bit. And I'm just
game changer.
So glad for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a series that is very inviting to just the everyday fan that
exactly
has a rough idea of who Hawkeye is, Kate Bishop, and like not many people have Disney Plus or whatever, but like they know of this character, and to tell a story in this series, you want to keep it evergreen. You want to get all the right essence. You want to give them just enough of what these characters are about, but really, you're telling a simple story of these superheroes dealing with cats in everyday struggles. So, that adds to the fun of the series.
I feel like comics are for everyone, and as a guy who writes predominantly superhero comics, I know I'm part of the problem. But it's a medium, not a genre, and when we become so focused on the binary of is it or isn't it this exact one type of story, I just feel like we lose the plot a little bit. And seeing the versatility of the Marvel Unlimited offerings, it's just been really nice to, it was something we said a lot during the Pando, which was, I felt like someone kind of cared about me, as dumb as that sounds. I felt like Marvel Unlimited was there for me. I could pull up my phone and it felt like every day there was a new story. And it's really been a really great thing to see artists come up through there and then be in the printed books. Because, I mean, when we did New Mutants, I was like, and it was your name. And it was super exciting.
Well, I think you're going to be very excited about some of the things coming up on Marvel Unlimited. Aside from the 2 new issues for Marvel Meow and Pizza Dog, but yeah, there's going to be 2 other projects, I'll say, that's on the horizon. One that is in coloring right now. It's already been drawn, and it's, oh man, I'm so psyched. You might expect it next month.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the other thing, maybe the month after, we'll see. But
before the end of the year, right? That's as long.
Oh
as
yeah.
Awesome.
But no, it's gonna be this summer for sure.
Fantastic. That's exciting.
And it's really always been interesting to me, because just to kind of like jump sideways a little, as much as I grew up on, Claremont and, the high point of like Nicieza and Lobdell and Wade, that like, that generational shift into the 90s of X-Men, something that really stole my heart was, as I mentioned, Jamie Delano and Grant Morrison earlier, Vertigo. And one of the books that defines my fandom is I have every appearance of John Constantine ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many comics is that?
It's over 700 at this
Holy
point.
Smokes.
That's for sure.
That's what, 5 long boxes?
Yeah. And it's because it's the original 300 plus 60 plus 42, so it's 400, and then that's Vertigo. So yeah, it's got to be around 700 at this point. But like something that your work gives me is the intimacy of a Vertigo book, the conversational ability to kind of sip and think on the idea. And is that like something that you seek to do? Do you look to kind of bend that medium edge a little bit?
Yeah, it's like whenever I'm coming up with dialogue, I always stress on the flow. Like it has to come naturally, and it has to come out of the characters like at the right time, at the right moments. And it's funny. Like I was having a conversation with Lauren Amaro I was like pitching a story, and I came up with this line out of the whim, and she was like, "Oh wow, like I love how grounded that is." And it's like I just came up with it on the spot, but I thought like but it's I have like a little comedic flair to it as well that lightens, yeah, because you want to enjoy what you're reading at the same time, so just
Yeah.
add some light yeah, some lightheartedness.
No, I really, man, I love this, and I love getting to pick your brain a little bit because, like, yeah, I made the joke earlier that I'm coming for the deep stuff, ha ha ha. Look, this isn't exactly the Barbara Walters Dieter show interview, but like, one of the things that I think you learn a lot about a creator is through their fandom, and I have this really formative memory of with a friend that I said that I felt like I could never be sure if Grant Morrison's run was specifically a loving tribute to Chris Claremont's run or kind of aggressively pissing on everything Chris Claremont had done since. And I really wasn't sure the line there. And my friend was like, well, can't it be both?
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
Grant
it's definitely
Morrison
both.
be a fan and have opinions on a creator at two different times? And I was like, wow, because the thing that then Grant Morrison did was that unbelievable story where he used Sage and Bishop really well. And so even if he was critical of that time, you can express so much of the depth of your fandom in such clever ways just by the way you talk about existing characters. And it's been amazing to get to see you do that with characters that we love on the page, but I want to talk about some bigger characters too here.
all right.
I'm really excited to do this. We've been playing a game, Bracketeering, where it's basically what if we take a March Madness bracket and we go a little wacky with it, right? We have a little bit of fun. And the reason it's a little wacky is because at the end of a March Madness bracket, you still have basketball player versus basketball player. At the end of a bracketeering bracket, I'm just going to keep using that same example.
It's the best example.
It
Oh,
wound
wow.
up the cast of Modern Family versus Batman. So you sometimes wind up with
Just absolute nonsense, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
and
Oh man, I haven't seen these screen caps for a long while. Like I forgot how cool Ghost Rider looks
I
back in the day.
know. We've got some good art in this, and yeah, a lot of it really took me back.
And so we came up with a list of characters who have never had their own formal animated series. They have had appearances on stuff, and I learned my lesson a little bit on what counts as an animated series. Listen to me well. Motion comics, you are not animated,
You're not an animated series. That's why we call you motion comics and not animated comics.
Anyway, I lost that battle. So I changed a couple of things at the last second. But we have some really cool matchups. We're going to talk about some really cool characters if you're game for it, Jason.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, then let's kick it off with two of our favorite characters in the entire world. Neither Daredevil nor Ghost Rider have ever had a proper animated series. Daredevil being my fave boy, and Ghost Rider being like TK's fave guy out of nowhere.
Suddenly, now that's a thing. I don't know how that happened.
Jason, where do you stand on the Devils?
I'd probably go. I mean, if we're going for like them in a fight, my pick would be Ghost Rider for sure. I think Daredevil would put up a long fight, but at the end he he's no match for Ghost Rider, and I think he will even just kind of forfeit in a way and know that Ghost Rider is they're fighting the same fight, and Ghost Rider is the one that will be able to carry on.
Hang on, though. The question is...
I also want to point out, I agree that he would get very punish me daddy.
Yes, very much so, because that's his thing. But which cartoon do you want to watch? Which of these two do you think they've got to have the next series?
I think Daredevil would be a much more interesting series, to be honest. Especially the court procedural routine. Yeah, like I think that would be pretty fun.
And Nico, I think your vote is right over your shoulder. I don't think we need to say a lot more than that.
Way?
Yes.
And my face. Okay.
You got it. You nailed it. Yeah, that was a pretty obvious one. No, we always do this with an odd number of people, so we don't have any ties and we can just get it done. But I just want to say that with the insane wealth of Ghost Riders out there right now, it would be such a cool show. Robbie Reyes would be... Kevo, don't move so fast! Robbie Reyes would be an incredible protagonist. Kushala would be fantastic.
These are all great reasons for second place.
All right. Well, we've got the first one in the bag, and it is, of course, going to Daredevil. Couldn't have possibly seen that one coming.
So let's lock that. So I love this bracket system TK found. This is what's the name of the website again? Bracket Fights?
Bracketfights.com.
I haven't liked a grid this much since the Sphere grid in Final Fantasy X.
Truly.
It's just such a fun thing to move around. So, okay. Can I be honest? This one was originally not Punisher versus Captain America. It was originally Captain America versus Black Panther. And it was money on the table. What's wrong with you, Marvel? Where are these animated shows? And turns out Wikipedia and several of its wiki bastard cousins all agree that the animated motion comic is a full animated series, and it was produced by Reginald Hudlin, so I'm not going to argue. And instead, I switched it to Punisher. Which of these soldiers needs an animated series more? I'm going to have to give it to the badass from Brooklyn because...
really?
Here's why. I love Punisher. I do. But here's why it's got to go to Captain America, right? Here's why I gotta get my my Steve in there, because Punisher has nothing to offer a children's show. And
I thought you were going to vote for Punisher. No, I'm with you.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to offer a kids show other than that delicious bandana, and that I would love it.
Kevo, you picked the best possible image of Punisher.
I really would love it if he was voiced by a really aggressive Peter Facinelli, channeling all of the aggression of having lost Jenny Garth. Someone else start talking, please.
And Punisher can appear in the Captain America show, getting beat up by Captain America, as he should, as I think is about to happen in the next issue of Punisher. So, this is one of the great things about bracketeering is some of them are so easy and we're just done quickly, and some of them are just impossible and there are two options you never want to choose between. And this is one of the easy ones. I do not want Punisher to have a TV show. In some ways, I'm like, I almost do want Punisher to have a children's TV show because I want to see how entirely unhinged that is.
Mr. Punisher cell block.
He only has like 5 range of emotion, and they're all anger, like different levels of anger. One of them's probably like crying angry, but
yeah, it's like
crying
angry,
psychosis.
horny angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, cap all the way for me.
Cap all the way.
But just to point it out, anything but these Liefeldian proportions for Cap, please.
Yeah.
That little waist pinch is
Yeah.
He cinched for the gods.
You want to see crying angry? I am pretty sure we are going to see that on Friday when Anitra or Sasha wins the crown. Is all I'm saying. Just a little drag race homosexuality there for you.
Up next.
How have neither of these characters in the age of the MC unification ever had an animated series?
I truly wonder.
You know, Doctor Strange had that movie, Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme, and Captain Marvel, as Ms. Marvel, has seen some focus, and she saw some attention in the wonderful Marvel Rising series, which put beautiful focus on a number of the amazing women of the Marvel Universe in animated format. But I do feel that neither of these fantastic characters have been given their time to shine. If this were, and I know this, I say it all the time, if this were Wong versus anyone, the answer is Wong. But it's not Wong. It's Wong's boring friend. So, and it's not even the good boring friend. It's not even Clea. So it's got to go Captain Marvel, who's always been my girl, even if she's kind of a space cop.
I totally agree. And we also get to see Mystique more often in that series.
Oh, yeah. Great vote.
And you know, people like, you know, the members of S.H.I.E.L.D. like Valentina. I think she was in some early she made some early appearances in Captain Marvel. So yeah, my vote's for Captain Marvel just because of the range of cast that she can have in the series.
Yeah, I agree with the
that,
group.
yeah.
I think it's got to go to Carol. I would love a Strange Academy animated series, but
Oh, man. Jason, you on Strange Academy would be crazy. That would be like perfect level of fit on perfect book Marvel.
But if I had to pick Strange Academy or Captain Marvel, it's still Captain Marvel.
yeah.
Oh, that's hot. Okay,
Yeah.
that's hot.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I got to give this one to Carol. Yes, she's a space cop, but she's a fun space cop. She's got other things going on. I feel like you'd get a lot of cool character appearances out
We'll
of
see
this.
more Rogue.
Yeah, exactly. And
I love your
there's
deep
just
bench
you have time to do silly. I mean, one of my favorites from our era of animated series is that Silver Surfer series that was just out there space opera nonsense, and I feel like Carol could give us some of that.
Yep, I'm all about the Marvel Cosmics. Bring me the Shi'ar Empire.
Oh yeah, and there's that crazy, even if Jerry Duggan's X-Men hasn't always been for me like the perfect fit with how I see an X-Men title, right? It's always sought to be a creative force that pushes the X-Men universe forward. It's always sought to be something different, and the way he's worked to bring this Brood story together,
Oh man,
the way
it's so
he's
good.
brought in Typhoid Mary, the way he's bringing in Iron Man. You know, Jerry Duggan doesn't get celebrated enough for being what feels like a really great gamesman in manipulating pieces in sort of like a DeFalconian way. DeFalconian?
Yeah,
That a word?
DeFalcone, I like it. Yep.
And I
believe
just-
you.
I just love those characters. So
I agree.
I agree.
how have neither of these gentlemen had their own animated show?
Yeah, it's really surprising. I would have thought somewhere in like the 2010s we would have seen a Deadpool show. Venom I'm not like as shocked by. I feel like now is prime era for a Venom show. But yes, Kevo, Deadpool especially. I think my vote is already there. I mean, I think it could be so funny and so fun. This Alyssa Wong Deadpool series that's running right now for me has
Best damn book.
perfect humor for an animated TV show that even it's one of those Alyssa Wong's humor is the type of humor that like it's not for kids, but it's actually great for kids to be exposed to because it's not disgusting in a way that's going to rot their brains, but it's not so like dumb and kiddie that it makes it inaccessible to adults and people who would like to like engage with mature humor, they would just do a great job. And they have been doing a great job on the comic, but that's like exactly what I see for this animated series. So
yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards the outrageousness of Deadpool. Like there's going to be some wild adventures with Venom for sure, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun seeing the whole fourth wall breaking superhero, and he can just you can just throw in so many random guest stars in this because and every episode can be a surprise. It'll just surprise you and keep you watching for more.
And I feel like there's something in the sort of recognizability of the characters and their performances. I think Tom Hardy is a likable performance and a beautiful man. And I don't think he transformed Venom because I don't believe the Venom he performs necessarily is a Venom the comics are looking to adapt directly in. So his Venom sort of exists in its own universe, attractively, untouched by, kind of like the bigger nature of comics. But then conversely, when you take a look at Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, it's just absolutely, Marvel said, early Deadpool's got some sexual abuse in his stories, has some like killing kids in his stories. Let's use this as like a really attractive reset point. For that reason, I'm actually going to say Venom.
Wow. Fascinating.
Because I feel like whatever Deadpool I get is going to be Ryan Reynolds, but I'm going to get something unique in Venom I won't be able to get anywhere else. That said, I would trade any number of these potential shows for a Deadpool manga anime.
Yes.
The Deadpool manga
is so good.
My book of 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the best thing I read. The pop star Venom magical girl Kage is like the best Venom of all time.
Yep.
Sakura Spider is the best Spider-Man character of all time. She is absolutely my favorite.
Yep.
Deadpool manga all the way.
Yeah, getting a Deadpool anime adapted out of the Deadpool manga would be the dream.
Life-changing.
Truly the dream.
I
But
gotta check that out.
Oh my god, you got to! It's so good.
yeah, you must. It's so good.
It was
you also
published
got
in
outvoted,
Shonen Jump.
Nico, so we're.
Oh, sweet! Wow, that's amazing.
And like it's got an All Might guest spot, like legit. Like it's a real thing, and it had to be imported, and like it took 2 years to get here and stuff.
That's crazy.
And it has Thanos literally saying dubstep is trash.
Yep. It's got some really good humor to it as well. That's another one. Like that's a good humor for Deadpool.
Sure,
it's
why
not
not?
just juvenile humor.
I did get outvoted, but it's okay because I got outvoted by two brilliant gentlemen who know what they're talking about. So it's fine.
So now we
Democracy, just mob rule set to destroy me.
So now we got Daredevil versus Cap. And I still know I know where your allegiances lie. So, I want to hear what Jason thinks.
I'm probably gonna lean. Oh, geez. Okay, well, there's the court procedural where you will have like some guest stars like She-Hulk coming in, or there might be a case involving Thor or Valkyrie. Cap, you have access to the whole Avengers roster. Anything goes, really. But I think I don't know. Cap might feel a little bit vanilla to me compared to Daredevil, so I'm going to go for Daredevil.
Solid choice. Daredevil's my choice. I'm not a big Cap fan at the end of the day. I do see that you make a very valid point. Like, once it's a Captain America show, it really makes sense for anybody to be there, which is very cool for an animated series. But Daredevil's, unique cast that would show up. Like, I mean, you're so right that it would be a court procedural show, so you would definitely see Jen Walters at some point. You could see any particular superhero being tried for a crime, or, you know, like a hilarious episode where they're solving things through legal channels rather than battling it out. There's just a bunch of good there. So yeah, I mean, I think we got to give it to Daredevil.
DD, way to be.
Yeah.
I gotta go Deadpool.
You sound so enthusiastic.
No, because this one's hard because I don't think these are comparable. You know,
They're
like,
not. Yeah.
Deadpool is something that
They're
I get
like
a lot.
Batman versus Modern Family.
Yeah.
Two different feelings here. Yeah. I mean, this is where you can enjoy both. It's like, you know, when people ask me like my favorite Star Wars film, and it's always depends on my mood at that time when you ask me that. It's like if I want like a good ending, I mean, or just a fulfilling, like heartwarming ending, that I go for Return of the Jedi. But if I want like a good beginning, middle, and end, that's A New Hope. Or if I'm just feeling very dark and brooding, I'll go for Empire Strikes Back. Now for Captain Marvel and Deadpool, I think there's a lot more range in a Captain Marvel. I mean, like, it won't be as zany as Deadpool, but I think it'll offer a lot more dimension compared to Deadpool, where it's going to be, I don't know.
I think he's right. You swayed me. You swayed me.
As I say this, because the thing about comedy is it's like it can be like really laugh out loud funny, but then there's going to be some moments where it's going to make you like really like guttural, like this very sad, you know, it like the saddest Futurama episode, like it could hit that spot, you know.
I totally see that.
Okay, but you switched me over to
I don't know.
Captain Marvel. You switched my vote. You did. I was like Deadpool, but now I'm Carol. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I'm voting Deadpool. So, you know, we got one for Carol, one for Deadpool. Jason, you got to break this tie.
I mean, I do like to see the Marvel Cosmics, but you could probably see them in Deadpool as well.
You sure could. Deadpool can get into space real easy.
Yeah, you know what? I would probably go for Deadpool.
There we go.
I'm not a Deadpool kind of fan too, but here I am.
you wind up in these positions where you're like, I mean, it's a binary. It's left or right. I just got to commit. Commit.
Yeah, okay, it's Deadpool.
We always knew it would come to this.
It's got to be Deadpool. Oh my God, Daredevil. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I just let my brains leak out. It's got to be Daredevil. Deadpool has a lot to offer to an animated show, and I'm very engaged in it. But, you know, something that maybe Daredevil gets a little bit less credit for than he deserves is he's a swashbuckler, or he's a ninja, or he's a crime book, or he's kind of got like a Western feel, or he's traveling around Europe, or he's locked in a prison cell, or he is any number of places. You know, Daredevil is such a versatile character. You really can get so much out of him. And not that you can't get the same out of Deadpool, but with Daredevil, you can do it with a whole lot less people offended.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I mean, I find, Daredevil is, like, no matter what, like, all those settings that you've listed, Nico, like, he's such an interesting character. More than Deadpool in a way. My vote's for DD.
Okay. That means I get to vote for Deadpool with a clean conscience. My thing about it is, like, I think the Daredevil show has more chances to be better, and the Deadpool show, there's like a 75% chance it's just going to be kind of too silly and too stupid. But like I said, you know, some of the ways that Deadpool's being written lately, if that's the type of humor that we get for the Deadpool show, it would be one of the best animated series ever. And yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, there's a lot of ways that you can write a Daredevil show that are going to make it really fantastic. So, champion for part 1, Matt Murdock.
And I just want to point out Kevo saying Daredevil show with Deadpool is the wacky sitcom neighbor.
Yes.
As they've both dated Typhoid Mary, the most unbelievably cool character in the universe. I think that kind of works. And then there's the fact that Mary is joining the X-Men, basically.
Very exciting.
So can't get cooler than that. Right? Okay. This one was tough. I was
tough.
like, there's never been a version of the X-Men in animated series without Wolverine.
Yep.
If there are so many versions of X-Men without Wolverine, and there's never been an Alpha Flight series, that's crazy to me. Like, Alpha Flight is, earlier producer Kevo jumped in to say he would go with the Doctor Strange show over the Carol show because of the value of magic. I can't think of a book that would be cooler, like seeing Talisman and Snowbird and Shaman and Sasquatch. Those are cool characters visually. Aurora and Northstar are going to get their due at some point just because, muties. But like the rest of Alpha Flight deserves love too.
Yeah, I'm here for an Alpha Flight show, man. We've gotten a lot of X-Men shows. They've had a lot of time to get it right. There's another one coming out. I'm rooting for them. We'll see. I don't know even that an 05 show would, like Deadpool, if it was exactly right in every way, it would probably be amazing. But if it's even a little bit off, it's just going to be like, okay, another effing X-Men show. But Alpha Flight, right off the bat, could just be like animated Twin Peaks, and it could be so cool.
Right away.
I like that you've titled it as Young Alpha Flight, not just Alpha Flight, and I think it kind of reminds me of Wolverine and the X-Men in a way, and Alpha Flight needs more time in the spotlight, and this would be a great opportunity for us to get to know more about them to a new audience. So yeah, especially, hey, I'm Canadian.
I was gonna say, I would expect you to vote for your people.
I didn't want to throw my bias, but yeah.
I did forget that. I just also want to put out there, and this is so dumb, but it came up a million years ago. I do think that we need a Polynesian team.
Yes.
And they should be Aloha Flight. And the thing that I now need is I need Sasha Colby to be their new Vindicator.
Yeah,
sold. Just like, I'm putting I'm officially committing. Not that anybody asked, but Bracketeering, Friday's Drag Race finale. I'm all in on Sasha Colby. Anitra too, but Sasha Colby, girl, it's all you.
You got to pick one at the end. That's why you could never be RuPaul.
That's why I could never be RuPaul. One of many reasons. I could never cinch my waist like that. She's a queen. Okay.
Up next,
the Young Avengers versus Power Pack, and I just want to point out, I had to work hard to find that image of Power Pack. Yeah. That is the closest thing to Power Pack being adapted. It is from Superhero Squad. Mm-hmm. It is a certain level of punky little brat style that I don't love. But
yeah, that's a real rough animation style in that show.
And the closest thing that we got to Young Avengers is Cassie Lang appearing in an episode of Earth's Mightiest Heroes and the Next Avengers, which I love Next Avengers, and I love that Bendis used them. I thought this was one of the unsung gems of the Marvel animated lineup. Still stick by it. Think the kids are cool. Think the designs are cool. I love when artists are given a chance to design. Just design all day for me. Just draw other versions of stuff. I'll give you all my money. Just draw. Art is so cool. So,
but
yeah.
Who are we talking about for this year?
Young Avengers.
Yeah, we are talking about the, Wiccan, Hulkling,
Novar, Kate Bishop.
Yeah, Kate Bishop.
Prodigy.
Yeah, okay, cool. I wanted to make sure. And then, Cassie Lang that's in the picture right there.
And meanwhile, the names for the Power Pack kids escape me, so I'm going to go for Young Avengers.
Alex Power,
cool.
Katie Power,
Katie,
Adam?
Boy, Alex,
Boy 1 and
Julie,
Boy 2,
Alex,
Julie, Katie,
Peter, The one that becomes the horse.
Yeah.
What wasn't Franklin Richards a member or?
He was their friend.
Okay, as a friend.
Yeah, but you
I'm
say
looking
he's
this up.
just a friend. So there I would really love Franklin Richards singing that to his mutant gene. So
Jack. Good Lord. 2 J's.
Jack Power.
Alex, Julie, Jack, Katie.
I use one of those whenever my phone dies.
Power Jack, not Jack Power. Come on. Jack Power's the guy from 24. I think I'm probably gonna lose this, but my vote is for Power Pack.
Really?
I want them to have their new day in the sun. I think there is something to be done with a weird family kid book, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Young Avengers anymore. I feel like they're all on their own journeys, and that's great.
Yeah, I can't watch a Power Pack show. I just can't.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know if it'll surpass a first season.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it can. So I think are we going Young Avengers?
We're going Young Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, this is almost done. We're in our final stretch. Okay, so this one is kind of a stretch. It's the New Warriors versus the Midnight Suns. Now, the New Warriors did appear in one episode of Ultimate Spider-Man, and the Midnight Suns have appeared in a couple of prequels to their video game. I'm just going to show my bias. Midnight Suns to death. That's Robbie. That's Nico. That's Wolverine. That's Blade. That's Ileana. That's Wanda. Forget it. That's too much awesome. Midnight Suns all the way.
Yeah, I always find, especially after the events of Civil War and seeing, reading some of the issues of New Warriors with Jubilee in it, like they've always come up, like I always find them as very sus. Like I can't trust them. Like I don't know.
Meanwhile, justice is there.
Midnight Suns, badass cast. That's my vote right there. Robbie, Logan, Tony, Blade. Is that Danny?
No, that's an original character named Huntress, who
Okay.
is unique to the Midnight Suns game. So there's a bunch of X-Men in the expansion.
Yeah. Storm is going to be in it.
I'm really
Here we
hoping that with Danny joining the new Torun Grunbeck book, who, what a rising star Marvel has put so much energy behind for the last couple of years, and she deserves it. Her Valkyrie is insane. Her Punisher is so good.
Yep.
And I'm really looking forward to seeing her Realm of X.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you follow her on TikTok? Because she showcases she has the best house. Like she's got a great office setup, and it's I think she lives in she lives in Norway, is it?
I would believe
I do
it.
follow her on TikTok, but I don't. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know where she lives.
It's just a very majestic site. She's got this floor to ceiling library, and with you need a ladder to reach the top shelf, and she's just got a wonderful setup to write her fantastic comics.
It's amazing. I love that. I love it.
And I'm excited for Realm of X. My vote also, by the way, is for Midnight Suns. The New Warriors are so weird, man. I don't know what the point of them is. I was super excited for that series that was going to come out with the young New Warriors that all had ironic Gen Z names like Safe Space and Snowflake. I'm sure that would have gone terribly, but I thought I thought somebody was going to knock that out of the park and be really ironic and great. Midnight Suns all the way for a good time, always, magic,
I'm
darkness.
Thrasher. Watch me skateboard.
It's exactly that. Oh, gosh.
2099 versus MC2. I don't care how uncool this is. MC2.
Yeah.
2099, it was just sewer grit.
We put this up there just so we could vote for MC2 and we could put MC2 in the running. Thank you, Kevo. We have
It's our
talked
girl.
for dozens upon dozens of hours about the entire MC2. I mean, this, the
74.
fact that we could have Mayday, the fact that we could have Wild Thing, J2, there are so many great characters that would come out of the MC2 and be perfect for a cartoon. I can't think of anything better. Jason, I'm sorry that we just outvoted you already. But I would love to hear your thoughts on these two universes.
I really have no opinions on either of them. But I mean, seeing how cool Wild Thing is leans my vote to MC2. Yeah, because I've never read a single comic from any of the worlds. But yeah, Wild Thing looks cool.
We'll take it. We love it. We're gonna take the win. We're the hottest kids in school. We're the MC2 universe, and we're here to win. So, I will say though, it doesn't look good for MC2 to win overall.
I don't know yet. Let's get through this. Let's find out what's happening here.
Let's bracket out.
So, Young Alpha Flight versus Young Avengers.
Young Alpha Flight, come on. They
Young
need
Alpha
their
Flight.
spotlight.
I think it's Young Alpha Flight.
I do too.
How many teen cartoons do we see every year? The Young Avengers are the quintessential, they'd put them in high school or whatever. But like I said, the Young Alpha Flight shows, it's going to be like cartoon Twin Peaks. And I think that I'm really excited about it.
And I want the Snowbird all white episode.
Yes.
Just some really good narration.
And two
I
Asgardian
Wars,
honestly.
I just want to see just Canada and like on television and not and I think there would be more wise to like not put like the stereotypical Canada, especially with like movies like Scott Pilgrim and the upcoming Scott Pilgrim animated series. Like we're like I want to see like just more grounded locations set in Canada and Alpha Flight. That's a great opportunity for it.
Fully agreed. So next up, it's Midnight Suns versus MC2.
I think a Midnight Suns show would be a lot of fun. I worried that an MC2 show would get kind of hokey and kind of silly and a little too self-contained.
Yeah.
If we're asking what I would rather see, I would rather see an MC2 show. What do I think has more commercial viability and ability to succeed within the very competitive animated slate? It's got to be Midnight Suns.
Yeah, I mean, I basically agree. Like I said, it's what I'm really thinking about is what are the chances? And chances are the MC2 show goes badly. There is a minute chance that they get it right and it's really cool and kind of like off kilter and weird and fun and gives us a different look at a slightly different Marvel universe in whatever way. But Midnight Suns, man, dark fantasy is one of those genres that Marvel has really been building up brick by brick slowly over the last 10 years especially, and I keep seeing it get better and better, and the idea of a Midnight Sun show excites me a great deal.
And his bank.
Yeah, it's got a killer cast, and I don't really play video games, but I mean, when you mentioned that Storm is going to be in it, I'm like, yep, that's another, that's the nail in a coffin right there.
Yep.
And it's Nico from the Runaways TV show playing Nico again. As a
fascinating
guy whose name is Nico. And definitely...
It's the Nico representation you've always needed.
Kinda. She's the best. I love her so much. I'm not saying I took my name or anything. It was a good synergy.
So last up, it's Young Alpha Flight versus Midnight Suns.
Young Alpha Flight. This is actually really easy for me.
Wow, okay.
Because this is going to sound so stupid and everyone laugh at me really fast because it's funny. But when I go to Epcot and I see Canada in Epcot, and I'm like, this is literally the tourist laugh in your face version of Canada. And I'm like, this is more than I like, because when I think of Canada, I think of filming location, and I think of like the poutine challenge on Top Chef, like, And I mean, like, I think of like beautiful country. I think of, aggressively progressive government looking to take care of its people and right past wrongs. And I think about a country that has sought to do better by generations of people going forward. Like, I think about a lot of really good things about Canada, but like so much until I was like in my 30s was wasted on me to understand the indigenous peoples of Canada's iconography, the beauty of what Canada's indigenous people have to offer in terms of storytelling tradition and the beauty of their mythology. And I've just never gotten to see it before. So it's a no-brainer for me. I will gladly take the potentially beautiful interpretation of Alpha Flight over the whatever fake Anglo dark magic they come up with for Midnight Suns.
Respect.
Yep. You've yeah. You said it actually. Canadian in me. For those that don't know, CBC is the Canadian broadcast channel. And I don't, like, there's something about it what would just make it feel very homegrown to me, and I feel that they would really make sure to hire people that come from that offer different voices, especially with a diverse cast as Alpha Flight. We want to make it. We would want to make a show with these characters very authentic.
I mean, I'm already assuming it would be Dan Levy as the gayest North Star ever.
Well, you can't do it because he's not French Canadian.
You can pull off the accent.
Yeah.
So here we come to our final matchup. This is we always get here. We always get to an actual tough one.
So there's your reality of a show that would actually happen.
Yeah.
And a show I would want to see happen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go for Alpha Flight, the show I would want to see happen.
I'm gonna go for Daredevil, the show I would want to see happen. But
it's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is one where I'm like, if for whatever reason Daredevil could not honor its responsibilities as the winner, and young Alpha Flight with Wolverine had to step in and finish Daredevil's reign, I would gladly accept Queen Alpha Flight. Long may she reign.
Well, I'm the tiebreaker here. And when it comes down to it, I think I gotta go with young Alpha Flight.
Yes.
I
respect it. I really do.
Yeah, I just A, you guys sold me on it earlier, and B, I think it's going to be a really cool show. So
I like that we're like, it's gonna be great, you guys.
Yeah, the show that exists is going to be super good, and I know that. So,
Wow, that's such a big target over Matt's face. You'd think Wilson Pills could put it there. Jesus.
That's
Wilson.
a statement right there.
It really is, man. The Punisher is so happy to see that. I do think this tells us something really interesting about what we're not getting from Marvel in terms of animated slate and what we love. It doesn't say a place where Marvel's failing per se. It says a place where the fandom has created so much room for so many cool things that there's room for more amazing stuff. I'm really glad to see Alpha Flight 1, actually. Like it warms the cockles of my little Alpha Flight loving heart, because it's a team that just never gets respect.
Yeah, they're a really cool team. I think that there's a ton of potential there. And if you want to be really markety about it, they would have Wolverine, so it's gonna do gangbusters.
As a fellow Canadian to the Alpha Flight, I'm gonna accept this award on your behalf.
Yes.
By the way, I am excited that they're gonna get their own title.
Yeah.
From Fall of X.
It's
so
exciting.
I'm curious about their new direction.
Yeah, and I want to know who's on it. This is always one of those guessing games where it's so weird, because when you hear about these books that do and don't exist, or could have happened, or the run that was almost, or you get these ideas, and you wind up building up what could have been so much more than what is, right? Because the possibility contrasted with reality is always going to be stark. But there's sort of nothing for Alpha Flight that they could do right now where I would find myself disappointed, as long as it's still true to the notion of Alpha Flight. They need a minute. They need that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think this book is going to be the next step in that process for them. So let's hope for good things.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for Alpha Flight getting what they deserve, which is a good run. You know, because for 1 second, Alpha Flight has turned out so many superstars.
Yeah.
Like Alpha Flight has turned out so many hits in other books, characters that go on to be massive, like Sasquatch and everything, but also Daredevil. Because isn't like Samson is currently
Yes.
Sasquatch?
Yeah.
So
weirdly.
the Sasquatch power is now still in the universe.
Yeah.
Aurora in X Factor, among other things like Weapon X, North Star in everything X-Men that isn't, occupied by Iceman, because you can't have too many gays together. There's going to be a daisy chain. You've got Vindicator, whose visual is the standard for creating a flag-based, for whatever that's worth, iconography. I don't know. I think Alpha Flight is just one of the best books Marvel doesn't know what they've got with sometimes.
And don't forget the lovable Puck.
We love
We
Puck.
we have agreed on this show a couple thousand times that Puck is like one of the hottest guys in Marvel. Those dimensions, like any guy whose neck is thicker than his head, boy's getting it. And all said and done, whether it's Alpha Flight being awesome or the titles that we had a chance to talk to that you're working on that we know about, and some excitement about some stuff coming up in the next month or two. Jason, one of the things that's been really cool is getting to see your time grow at Marvel, because dude, it's I mean, I'm not telling you your story, but like, you started as like a magical fan page. Like that's actually the dream, man. And so like, just getting to talk to you it's like Kevo says, we love an underdog. And that's what Alpha Flight just did. And I feel like, you came from being a fan comic to having fans of your comics. And that's just the coolest. And it's just been so great to see your career grow.
Oh, thanks, guys. Like, I'm a fan just like you guys, and it's just great just nerding out together on a Monday night and just talking about just Marvel, or just comics in general. Guys, I mean, I'm just gushing.
Well, and that's how we feel, man. And so, but more importantly than anything, we've talked a lot about your amazing work, but where can everybody find your amazing work?
I mean, you can follow me on Instagram at Jason Lowe Makes Comics, and Twitter rebel_OOO. I got a lot of things down to pipeline with Marvel right now. Like there was this month, actually it's still going on, where it's like I've been working on like 5 projects at the same time while maintaining my full-time job, which has been nuts. But most of that heavy lifting has been lightened, and half of that has been already announced. So yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see what's coming up this summer.
That's so exciting. We can't wait.
Especially Daredevil.
Yeah.
Yeah, May, I got to write a team up with the new Iron Fist and Daredevil in a backup story for Daredevil issue number 11.
Oh, right. The backup stories that, man, there's like 6 or 7 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
like that. Yeah.
So exciting. I did not realize. Oh man, that's amazing. Cause like, my office is literally covered in Daredevil stuff. You can't tell from the background that is Daredevil stuff, but, I just think Daredevil is like, he represented as like a sick kid growing up, the ability to be better and to rise above. And that's why I do Daredevil's The Billy Club with Tori Sheehan, where we take a look at every issue of Daredevil. So, it's something we do. seeing how far you've come at Marvel is so exciting. And man, every project you announce, we'd love to have you tell us all about and have you on as often as we can so you can keep that word going.
For sure. I'll be happy to come back, especially, when they announce a certain project. We can talk more about that. Actually, 2 of them. But yeah, maybe in the summer, I would be happy to talk about my whole process from those projects. Yeah.
Well, just know that we're ready for that artist edition. We will be your IDW. We have room for your surprint pages. We want to hear that process line by line. So,
thank you.
Jason, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us. And TK, best host in the world. We got anything else that we should throw out there?
No, I think this is our wrap up for tonight.
It's great to know that the animated show that we are most looking forward to from Marvel is Alpha Flight.
Yeah, it's going to be really good.
And remember, if you guys want to check out more amazing stuff, check us out at X's for Show on all your socials and here on YouTube. And you can check out, and I'm just going to do it one time, just for 1 second. You can check out my GLAAD award-winning story in this anthology.
Yes.
I'm in. Super exciting, super excited. Thank you so much.
So
and you can check us out on Sunday covering Drag Race season 15 finale. But okay, Jason, so I think I'm looking
Wrong
up
way.
in the right
Other way.
Jason, so listen, we checked this thing out, right? It's the wildest thing. I Google what are some TV shows dudes should watch to podcast about, and I get some really stupid answers, but I get this one that I have to check out, and it's on Amazon Freevee, and it's called Jury Duty, and it's 11 people are actors, but they're like really good improv kind of character actors, and one guy has no idea that they're all actors, and he just thinks he's on a normal jury duty case that's being filmed for a documentary.
Oh my god, that's very Nathan for you.
Yes. Yep.
And it's actually like the only bit of direction it seems they were all given is never make this guy the butt of the joke. Always make him feel involved. And it literally is just like James Marsden being like, I'm actually a very famous actor. I can't be here right now. Like it's so we're covering this on Sunday. Everybody should check out this show. It's on Amazon.
It's a great show.
Freevee.
It's well worth your time.
It's a good laugh.
We will be talking about that and Drag Race on Sunday. And then this week, we will find a time to do our comics cast. It will probably be on Friday. But going forward, we will be doing comics on Wednesday evening. So look for that in the future.
Absolutely. We'll be covering everything Marvel drops on Wednesdays.
Yep.
So it's going to be a same-day service. All right. I'm getting out of here.
Let's go.
Thank you guys so much. So remember, keep your lights lit. Keep your gateways open. Remember, drag is not a crime. Comics are awesome. Jason Lowe makes amazing comics. Check him out on all of his amazing social medias. Kebo makes the best graphics. What an amazing producer. TK, coolest co-host in the entire world. Couldn't be more grateful. And I'm Nico. That's a Neon Daredevil. And we'll see you.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Like and subscribe. I meant to say that like during the thing, but you should definitely like and subscribe. It's important. Thanks. I'm going to go now.